Hey guys, today I wanted to make a quick video about how to get high credit. I recently checked my credit and it's over 800, so I thought this would be helpful for people who want to apply to get a mortgage and stuff like that. I probably shouldn't show the bank number, but here you go. So so there you go. It's over 800. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about just how it works because it clearly worked for me and I didn't really do anything. There are basically three different things that account for your credit score that can increase it over time. And these are basically the only things that I have found that actually factor into it. So, number one, oh my God, my brother. So, number one is payment history. So it's basically just saying, have you been paying your things on time? That's, to be honest, that's like 50%, if not 90% of it. It's just make sure you never miss a payment. So number two is credit history. So that's how long have you had your accounts? Because someone who has never missed their payments but only had their credit card for, let's say, 1 month is definitely going to be less trustworthy than someone who has never missed a payment and had their credit card for 1 year or 5 years, even, or someone who's had multiple credit cards that they have not missed for 5 years would be even more credible. I find that the number of credit cards don't usually matter that much, but they are still important because of something that I'll get into later on. But the main idea is basically just, yeah, no, no, yeah, no. But the main idea is that the longer you hold your history while not missing payments, then the higher your credit score will eventually grow into. And number three, the last one, is credit usage. So that's basically, I think this is like a very weird thing, but basically it's how little you use your credit card. So I guess it seems like the more you use your credit card, the more it seems like dangerous for the people. So, for example, let's say you have a $1,000 line and someone is using $900 or like 90% of it or more every single month, then it starts to look like, oh, okay, this seems like maybe due to various spending habits, this person really, really needs this for some reason. So it kind of looks a little suspicious, I guess. So it's really weird, but it's like the less you use it, the better it is for you. It seems super counterintuitive because I feel like the people who don't ever like need a credit card will never even think to apply for it, but that's the thing is that basically the less you use it, the better. So if you have, let's say, a $1,000 credit, but you're only using maybe like $2 of it per month, then the creditors look at that and they're like, wow, oh my God, he's using so little. They must really not need it, which means I guess they're better off than someone who is using, let's say, 90%. So people usually recommend keeping this under, let's say, 10%. But for me personally, I literally just put like one $5 subscription and then I just put it on the card. That way it just kind of automatically goes. It's like something that I know I'll be using. And then I literally just don't use it, period. Like I just use my debit card every time. For those of you who are curious, the subscription that I actually put on the card is like the $3 cloud iCloud storage thing that I have to pay for because I need that to back up my iPhone just in case I lose my iPhone and I lose all my pictures and stuff because that has happened to me before. Oh, sorry, these are just like my notes for all the stuff that I'm trying to go over. But yeah, my phone got pickpocketed in a concert. That's why I have to basically pay $3 every month to keep a full storage of my phone, just as insurance, basically. Honestly, feels kind of like a scam, but I mean, it's fine. It's all good. It's only $3. But yeah, basically, the less you utilize it, the better it is. Now, there are two bonus things that factor into this, but I feel like it really accounts for maybe less than 5% of the actual credit score. Bonus number one is total loans. So if you have a more diverse line of credit, then usually your credit score is going to be like a little bit higher. But again, don't go get credit or don't borrow money just for this because it accounts for like honestly, probably like 2%. So it's not worth like changing your actions for. It's not going to make a huge impact over time. And then bonus number 2 is credit checks. So I guess this kind of is important. Every time you run a credit check, your credit score lowers by a little bit, but usually this is kind of inconsequential because over time, the impact of running the credit check is just going to fall off. But it is important to keep in mind that if you do, let's say, apply for a mortgage or apply for a credit card, which means that you will need to run a hard inquiry, you're basically going to need to run a credit check on the system, or someone else is going to have to do it for you after your approval, then that is going to go ahead and lower the credit score just like a little bit. But that's not going to matter too much because after like 3 to 6 months, then the effect that the inquiry has, it's going to basically just kind of fall off of your credit score. So it doesn't matter that much. Now that I've explained the mechanics of how this works, now we can go over what you can actually do about it. So for point number one, it's very simple, but basically payment history, just never miss a payment. Just you should be having that on auto pay, like completely automated. So that way it's like away from your conscious and then have that connected to, let's say, like a debit card or a bank account. That way it just automatically pays it off every month. That way, once you have it set up, then you should basically never be missing a payment. For me, the less I use it, the better it is. So, yeah, to be honest, I literally just put on any random subscription and then I just don't even use it for the rest of the day. I mean, I know you can get like 2% back if you like use it for your daily spending, but for me personally, I don't feel like it makes a huge difference. I feel like it's the credit card company that makes the most money actually having you use their credit card. So I feel like it's not really super relevant for building up credit score. So for number 2, credit history. So for this, you just get the card and as long as you're not missing the payments and you're holding it, then over time your credit score will just improve because you are not missing payments and you have the card with you. So that's all you need to do. But I do personally have 3 credit cards, which I applied, let's say, with about 3 months to 6 months in between, because I do know that sometimes what would happen is that you would have, let's say, like a credit card, and then you would have it for a long time, let's say for like 10 years and then for whatever reason, to no fault of your own, they are just like, hey, we're just like shutting down this program or shutting down this card. Or maybe I know some banks, if you don't use it for a long time, then sometimes they'll just shut it off because it's just they don't want to maintain it. So there is a small chance that you kind of like lose all of that payment history. Like, you could have had this giant history, but if you don't have the card anymore, then, who knows? So I do like to have multiple cards to kind of weather against this risk. Because if you have only like one card, then there is a chance that it might get shut down and then you might lose like your entire like history that you've built up over time, which is not ideal. But you should not be getting more credit cards to use more money. So, like for me, I'm literally using like less than $5 for my card for basically like most of my cards. So even with my 3 cards on a regular month, that's usually like under $20 of payments. One thing that my mom taught me, which I thought was super, super helpful for me as I was growing up, is basically credit card is not free money. It's not you have, let's say, like you have $1,000 and now you have $1,000 credit card as well. That does not mean you have $2,000. That still means you have $1,000. So basically, you should always be spending money that you know you can pay back immediately, not like something like, oh, like I'll spend money now and then next month when I get my paycheck, then I'm going to be able to pay it off. that should just never ever like never ever be happening because that means you're actively spending from the future. That's you're taking from your future self, which is not good. So basically just never spend money that you don't currently have, and it's not free money. And for me, I don't even use it. And that's probably why I have over an 800 credit score. But yeah, for the credit history, most of it is just going to grow over time. So just make sure not to just set it up on auto pay and don't miss your payments. But at the same time, just make sure to have maybe like two or three, I would recommend. So yeah, I do know that every time you apply for a credit card, I know that you can kind of like see your credit score like lower a little bit, and that can be a little demotivating. But yeah, just know that that effect just falls off after like 6 months. It's not going to matter in the long term at all. So you can safely apply for a credit card every 3 to 6 months. Now, for those of you who are just starting out, then sometimes if you have like absolutely no credit, then sometimes banks will not even look at you to be able to give you. So then what you need to do is you might need to get like a prepaid card just to start out. So then that's basically you have like a deposit money of, let's say, like $500 or something that you would need to give to the bank just to be like, hey, like if I max out my credit card and don't pay it back, then you could just take the money from the deposit. And then after that, you will get a $500 like credit card that basically is just completely backed with your own cash, which is fine because you should only really be spending like as minimum as possible. So if you have like a $500 card, you should be spending like less than $50, ideally like $5. But yeah, that's like the three things. So that is the payment history. So that's just don't miss your payments, just set it up on auto pay, don't worry about it. And number two is the credit history. So that's basically just if you have it for a long time and you can prove that you can not miss payments over time, then that should increase your credit score. And number three, which is credit usage, which basically just have your credit card and use as little of it as possible, which is so counterintuitive, but basically that is, I guess, like the ideal person is the person who has a lot of line of credit and aren't using it. Now, of course, one other thing that you can do is every, like, let's say 3 to 6 months, you can also call the bank and ask them to increase your credit. But I found that over time, this is just more hassle than it's worth. But technically, to lower the utilization rate, that is something that you can do. So maybe after like 3 to 6 months, then you can say, hey, like, I haven't missed my payments. I was wondering if it's possible for you to increase the line of credit that I have for my current card. And I have done this before when I was like super optimizing in the beginning, but I feel like over time, it's just not really something that matters too much. Technically, the higher your line of credit is, then the better it will be in general. But that is assuming 99% of the time that you are not missing your payments. That's basically the big part, and also utilizing your credit card as little as possible, which I think is super funny, but that's yeah. I need to cover the last four digits of my credit card because obviously that's probably important information, but there you go. So there is a $3,000 line, and here is a $5,200 line. I do have the $300 there just because I recently bought the Final Cut Pro, which is like used to edit this video. I was like, oh, okay, like it's a big purchase, so I might as well just put it on there because I'm gonna get it anyways, and I'm gonna get 2%. So technically, I got like $6 from that, but it's not a big deal. But normally, I don't put anything, which is why, like for the previous one, you saw like $0, and here's another $0. I probably should like put like something on this, but yeah, here's another $0, and it has a $12,900 worth of credit. Okay, so I ran the calculations, and so the total number of line of credit that I have is $21,100. Don't mind the Thai baht. I'm in Thailand, so that's what I'm using right now. But anyways, but yeah, so that is the total number of a line that's available to me. And then out of that, I'm using $300. So basically, my utilization rate is about 1.4%. And yeah, so I that's how I got my $800 credit score, and I hope that I explained to you sufficiently how these three things work, and also how to best change your actions so that you can have a high credit score too. Yeah, this way, even though I don't need it, if I want to apply for a mortgage in the future, then I'm basically set to go with the best rate because, my credit score is like over 800, which not a lot of people can say that. If you found this video helpful, then go ahead and leave a like and comment. And if you want to see more videos from me in the future, then go ahead and subscribe. Also, I'm trying to do this full time, so if you want to support me on Patreon, that is very, very welcome as well. And yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video.